my little pony, what is friendship?
Oh yeah! Trust me when I say that I've wanted to make this list for a long time. Ever since Tats... By the way, you should go check out Tats' top videos. I'm actually a scriptwriter there. And even though he's getting popularity, he still deserves more subscribers. Got me into this show. I've been unable to keep myself away from it. Plushies, models, clothes, you name it. And since I recently finished season 3, I now have a perspective of the episodes as a whole. And the majority of them are awesome. But as with any show, there will always be episodes that are better than others. So, I decided to make it my quest to sort them out. Now, the rules. For an episode to get on this list, it had to combine 4 main elements. A strong story, clever humor, a good moral, and most of all, how to use the main components. This is also a very personal list, so there's a good chance your favorite episode won't appear on this list. And for good reason. There are so many amazing episodes, it would be impossible to please everyone. So just try to have an open mind. Alright, here we go. Wonderbolts Academy. In this episode, Rainbow Dash auditions to become a Wonderbolt in training. So, of course she gets in and immediately starts. While doing the first exercise, she meets the main antagonist of this episode, Lightning Dust. And let me say, she's quite a good one. She's almost exactly the same as Rainbow Dash, except for the fact that she has no care for the safety of others. All she cares about is becoming a Wonderbolt. As for Rainbow, she finally has enough of it when one of her exploits endangers Rainbow Dash's friends. Then, she snaps.
Explain your methods.
That's why I'm here, ma'am. Lightning Dust decided to use a tornado.
A bit excessive for cloud busting, but judging from your time, it was obviously an effective tactic.
Yeah, well, that effective tactic nearly took out my friends. No disrespect, ma'am, but there's a big difference between pushing yourself as hard as you can and just being reckless. And if being reckless is what gets rewarded around here, if that's what it means to be a Wonderbolt, then I don't want any part of it.
What are you saying, newbie?
I quit.
This really shows how Rainbow has grown as a character. Near the beginning of the show, she would have done anything to become a Wonderbolt. She didn't care who got in her way. Now, however, after being on many adventures with her friends, she will not stand by as bad is done. But of course, they can't let her prevail. The drill sergeant realizes that Rainbow Dash is right, strips Lightning Dust of her position, and gives it to Rainbow. I think that the message of always standing by your friends is really touching and shows how much it can hold up through. Also, the jokes in this episode are hilarious. They don't really come from Rainbow Dash's end, but instead through Pinkie Pie's. While Rainbow is at the academy, Pinkie is staying at the mailbox and refuses to leave until she gets a letter from Rainbow Dash. So, she later decides to hand-deliver a care package to her, which almost leads to her and her friend's untimely death. A mysterious Mare. At the beginning of this episode, we see that Rainbow Dash is doing many good deeds and is getting recognition all over Ponyville. But unfortunately, she's letting it all go to her head and starts thinking that she's the best pony ever. So the other 5 ponies decide to give her a taste of her own medicine and make up a hero that saves people from their looming doom. The townspeople then name it the Mysterious Mare. Mysterious Mare starts taking all of Rainbow's glory, even taking over her entire fan base. This leads Rainbow Dash to chase Mare and try and find out her identity. When she finally does get her, she discovers that it's Pinkie Pie and Twilight and Applejack again, Fluttershy and Rarity. Wait, what? Yes, it turns out that Mare was the other ponies in disguise trying to make it so Rainbow's vanity would go down. Basically, they all did something different. Applejack saved a trolley with her strength, Twilight used her magic to fix it down, Fluttershy made a fly over the city, Pinkie Pie saved workmen with her pinky sense, and Rarity did the most important job of all, making the costume! The message here is that it's okay to hate people, but shouldn't let it all go to your head. Also, the humor with Rainbow Dash going crazy trying to find out who Mare is hilarious. Also, it incorporates the main scenes perfectly. They all had their own parts to play and did so masterfully. Also, as you probably picked up, the plot is very entertaining. With lots of twists and surprises that you wouldn't have expected. All in all, Mysterious Mare was a phenomenal episode with lots and lots of charm. Luna Eclipse. At the start of this episode, we see that all of Ponyville is celebrating the Luna's Eve festival. Rainbow Dash is dressed up as a Wonderbolt. Go figure. But soon the festivities are interrupted by Luna, formerly Nightmare Moon. So of course everyone freaks out and makes Luna feel like an outcast. So Twilight takes her to two of her friends to help Luna become more approachable. Fluttershy teaches Luna to be more quiet, and by teach I mean run away in fright, and Applejack helps her to become more fun overall. But of course, when Luna tries to save a drowning foal, Pinkie Pie freaks out, and because of this everyone else freaks out as well. So, Luna accuses Pinkie Pie of being a liar, and everyone freaks out. There's a lot of that in this episode. Then, she once again tries to make people love her, but doesn't exactly go according to plan. So, everything that Twilight worked for is ruined. Luna once again becomes an outcast and mass panic is spread all over. Obviously, the festival is closed, but Sakura assures them they can still have a good time by offering candy to Nightmare Moon at her shrine. At the same time, Twilight finds out all the people absolutely adore being scared and thinks it's hilarious. So when she hears that some people are going to the shrine, she takes action.
Just eat it instead of eating you!
I am not certain that did what you meant for it to do, Twilight Sparkle.
Just wait.
For what? For them to scream some more?
Princess Luna, I know there's not gonna be any more Nightmare Night, but do you suppose maybe you could come back next year and scare us again anyway?
Child, art thou saying that thou likest me to scare you?
It's really fun. Scary, but fun.
It's tis?
Yeah, Nightmare Night is my favorite night of the year.
Well then, we shall have to bring
Nightmare Night back!
Whoa!
After this, Luna once again becomes welcome at Ponyville, with everyone loving and having fun with her. The moral here is that you should always help your friends, even if no one else sees the good in them. It truly shows how divine friendship is as a whole. And oh my gosh, the jokes! These are probably some of the best jokes I've heard in all of My Little Pony. From Rainbow Dash scaring people, to Pinkie Pie freaking out, let's get a lot of that, to Luna scaring the townspeople, it's all very well done. I just think that this episode could have been better had there been more focus on the entire cast instead of just Luna. Okay, now to quote Rabbit Luigi, this is where I think the episodes get to my absolute favorites. And it was torture to separate these last 7 into the list, but I've done it. So, coming in at number 7 is a Canterlot Wedding. What? You're putting a season finale on here? We did it! Well, I never said anything about not putting season premieres or finales on here, so bear with me. This is the season 2 finale, and its story is long and confusing, so I'll try to summarize. While having a picnic in the field, Twilight gets a letter from Celestia telling her that her brother, Shining Armor, and a Princess Mare Cadenza are getting married. Then Twilight sings about her brother and her being friends. Yeah, it's an okay song, but definitely not the best in the episode. So the 6 ponies, and Spike, get on a train headed for Canterlot. Once there, Twilight meets up with her brother, who tells her that Mare Cadenza is actually Twilight's childhood friend Cadence. So of course Twilight rushes to see her, just to find out she's turned into a snobby rich girl. I mean really snobby, like being mean to all of her friends snobby. So, to find out what's going on, Twilight follows Cadence just to see her hit her brother with a grain of light and make his eyes go all. So, while doing the practice wedding, Twilight decides to confront them. Then, Shining Armor tells her that the reason did that was because he's been having migraines and this was his medicine. So they leave Twilight in her sorrow, where she sings a reprise of the last song. But I really can't judge it considering it's only about 15 seconds long. So then Princess Cadence comes back and sends Twilight to some sort of mine for almost giving her away. Wait, so that means Princess Cadence is a Princess Fakins! Okay, happen again. Anyway, while in the mine place, Twilight finds the real Princess Cadence, who tells her that Princess Fakins, don't sue me, is actually Princess Chrysalis, who is the queen of the changelings, and turn into people they love and fester on that very same love. Then comes what I consider to be the best song in this episode. This day is going to be perfect. It truly shows off the wickedness of Chrysalis and the plea of Cadence. So they get back to the castle, and Chrysalis takes on her true form. Then she does an amazing thing. She gets in a battle with Celestia and wins. Wait. She won? Yes. Chrysalis pulls a Kefka on you and beats the most powerful alicorn in all of Equestria. That takes true skill. So then Chrysalis calls her minions and sings another reprise of This Day. Once again, it's very short, but at the same time it's entertaining. Then Twilight and her friends attempt to get to the heart elements of harmony from their location and totally fail! So all hope is lost, right? Nope! As a last defense, Cadence uses her magic to snap Twilight's brother out of it, and they drive out the evil. They then have their special wedding, where Twilight sings once again, this time about Cadence and her brother. I must say, I enjoyed it for no other than reason than Final Scratch! Love her! So, an entire episode based around love? Well, I gotta say, I love love, for no other reason than loving lovey-dovey love, loving that love. But if I love this love, what about that love? And where on earth am I going with this? Too many Pinkies. In this episode, we find out that Pinkie Pie is going around trying to have as much fun as possible. But then, disaster strikes. And by disaster, I mean Pinkie's missing out on fun! So, she goes around trying to get everyone and do all their fun activities. Pinkie Pie eventually becomes overwhelmed and remembers an old pony's tale that Granny Pie told her about a duplicating fountain. Think Fountain of Youth, but it makes clones instead of making you younger. So, Pinkie makes one clone of herself and rejoices that she can now have more fun. But soon, there are even more activities that she will miss out unless she makes more. So, Pinkie and Pinkie 2 go and make 2 more clones. Unfortunately, these clones make 4 more. Then 8 more. Then 16 more! Eventually, the entire place is swarming with Pinkies here and there. Pinkies everywhere. Since there are so many, they all combine into one big group, going around Ponyville causing havoc. Meanwhile, the real Pinkie gets suppressed because she doesn't know if she even is the real one. And that's no fun. A little forced, but I digress. So, Twilight and Spike round them up and get them into a room. Then they have a competition. Whoever can stay still the longest is the real Pinkie Pie because they will want it the most. And during this contest, some of the Pinkies get eliminated by Soon there are only 2 Pinkies left, and one is distracted by a bug. Really? A bug? I knew Pinkie Pie had about the span of a 5-year-old, but I would not think that it would be so pathetic to get distracted by a bug. Whatever. So, the real Pinkie wins. Jokes in this episode really got me. I already love Pinkie Pie, but a bunch of Pinkie Pies? Genuous! But there doesn't really seem to be a more. Is it to not clone yourself? Yeah, that's it. Messages, don't clone yourself. Next!